on a sweltering evening in the Rio Grande Valley. This is the USL, where this evening Rio Grande Valley FC Todos play host to Swope Park. Rangers Rio Grande Valley coming in off 3 consecutive draws, including a 0-0 last weekend to San Antonio. Swope Park having their 5-match unbeaten run ended by Real Monarchs losing 4-1. And their last match, Chris Whittingham, the former Manchester United goalkeeper Gary Bailey alongside. And let's start with the host, Gary. On the season, they're playing their 6th home match. They've drawn 4 of the 5 that already played on the campaign. 5 draws from 9. It's a few too many.
It definitely is a few too many, and it's drop points. You've got to turn especially the home draws into wins. And they're in the 13th position at the moment. They win, they go 12th. But more importantly, just 3 points off the playoffs. So from an RGV point of view, vital for them to get the home win today.
From a Swope Park point of view, as we move now to the visitors, they got off to a flying start. 8 goals from their first 2 games, but since 8 goals in their last 7 matches, they've also been playing a ton away from home.
Yeah, they have 7 matches on the road, so it's been tough, all this traveling, and yet they still sit 6th. And from their point of view, a win, they go joint 4th. So it's been difficult on the road. They've got plenty of points in the sort of bag, and of course they have all the home games still to come.
And of course, this is a side that has won the Western Conference the last 2 years. As we move now to our players to watch with Swope Park Rangers, the league's top goal scorer, Carlton Belmar, with 8 from 7 starts this year. That is an incredible return, leads the league.
He does. What a fantastic player. I mean, to lead the league is a great achievement already. Big player, good target man. Looking forward to seeing him in action today.
4 goals in his first 2 appearances, 4 goals in his last 4. So however you slice it, he is scoring for fun in USL. As we move now to Rio Grande Valley, leading the line for them is Aldo Quintanilla on a decent scoring run of his own of late. 2 goals in his last 4, leads the team with 3 goals.
3 goals is decent, but again, you need the extra goals. If you're going to turn draws into wins, it's all going to be about goals. So keeping an eye on Aldo today to see if he can make it all happen for the home side.
Be a bit more clinical in front of goal. Those are our players to watch this evening. Rio Grande Valley coming in off 3 consecutive draws. We'll like to see a set of 3 points tonight from the host. Meanwhile, Swope Park Rangers have won the Western Conference the last 2 years. Will certainly make for difficult opposition. Commentary this one comes up next. It's Rio Grande Valley playing host to Swope Park Rangers, and it's next. Live from HEB Park in Edinburgh, Texas. It's the Rio Grande Valley. That's tonight RGV FC Todos play host to Swope Park Rangers. Swope Park, winners of the Western Conference the last 2 years, and now the visitors tonight with a very young squad this evening. The oldest player on either team is 26 years of age, and we start with the Swope Park Rangers. 5 changes from the team that lost to Real Monarchs, including in goal.
Yeah, a 4-3-3 lineup, so looking to see how that pans out. I'm a big fan of four at the back. I know there's some managers like to try and play with three or maybe even five, but I think four is solid. It's easier to work with. Three in midfield, up front, and of course Carlton Belmar, what form he is in at the moment.
Fantastic.
Can't wait to see him in action.
8 goals and 2 assists. His partner up top, Haji Berry, as well, 3 goals and 4 assists as well, as we look at an unchanged Rio Grande Valley team led up top by Aldo Quintanilla, 3 goals in the campaign.
Yeah, same 4-3-3, so let's hope they don't sort of match each other, nullify each other.
Right.
But again, a nice solid system. Aldo up front, the main goal scorer, and it's all set up for this perfect meeting. Two teams who need to win today, playing similar systems. Let's hope for loads of goals.
Aldo Quintanilla and Jesus Enriquez, the pair of Mexicans that lead the line for Rio Grande Valley. We've seen Enriquez doing well, coming in off that left-hand side to create opportunities. Should be a fun one this evening. From Edinburgh, Texas, you see a beautiful HEB Park. Some of the fans in attendance right there on that far touchline. Swope Park Rangers under manager Paulo Nagamura for his first year in charge. They've gone for 3 managers in 3 years, as have Rio Grande Valley, both in their 3rd year in existence. Rio Grande Valley making the playoffs in their 1st year, missing out last year. As for Swope Park, winners of the Western Conference the last 2 seasons, as we are underway from HEB Park. Swope Park Rangers coming in off a 4-1 loss away from home to Real Monarchs. Carlton Belmar opened the scoring with his 8th goal of the campaign, but eventually an onslaught came from the host Real Monarchs. They lost that one by 4-1. At the moment, Swope Park sits 6th in the Western Conference. Meanwhile, for Rio Grande Valley, it's been some better performances of late, but not yet the results. They've only won 1 time on the campaign. That was at home against Orange County. And it took a couple of players coming down from Houston Dynamo in order to get that job done. Memo Rodriguez and Max Steves on the day, the inspiration for the victory over Orange County. So Rio Grande Valley turned in some decent performances, but need to turn it into decent results. 1 win, 5 draws, and 3 losses on the campaign, including 4 draws from 5 at home.
Just looking at the conditions before the game, we noticed a bit of wind blowing, so I'm wondering if that's going to affect the game. You can see paper flying down from the stands there. So I'd like these situations where players are challenged, young players are challenged to play in tricky conditions. So nothing against the wind blowing a little bit here today.
And I'm sure the players might not mind in some respects. Obviously, it does make the playing of the ball more difficult as Ontiveros giving the ball away. Belmar playing it out to touch, although I think he thought that maybe there was a player injured or something. He just was keen to concede possession. Not really quite sure why. Rosenda Mendoza going to go over there and sort that out. But it can get pretty hot in the Rio Grande Valley during the summer months.
What were you saying temperature-wise? You gave me a couple of examples.
It was over 100 degrees today. In the valleys, you have a look at kickoff, 88 degrees, but that wind will kind of mitigate the hot evenings. We were talking with the manager, Gerson Echeverry, about the heat, and he was saying that we basically don't train during the day so as to kind of keep our players rested, and we want to play when our matches are. So that is the way that Gerson Echeverry is trying to manage his players' legs at the moment. We see Parker Marr on that left-hand side. In the middle of the park is Juan Kamal, the 19-year-old, will receive the ball there. He's really been a class player with the ball at his feet as he tries to clip it on that right-hand side towards Tyler Blackwood. The backwards header is for Nico Cortia, and the Belgian manages to keep it in play.
Does well there, the keeper. I thought that was going out for a moment. Got to be careful. It's one thing keeping it from going a corner. You can't then plop it at the forward's feet. So he got up nice and quickly there and gathered the ball at the second time of asking.
Juan Kamal in the middle of the park in terms of distribution is among the best in USL. A year ago, 91.3% completion from the middle there, and tried to threaten with the ball over the top towards Blackwood. Send up the line there by Ontiveros. Going down there was Enriquez, but he's going to try and win the ball back. Eventually will fall to the feet of Haji Berry. Tried to flick on for Chase Minter. In the end, it's Rio Grande Valley going forward here through Enriquez. A couple of nice tricks and flicks there to get around some players. Has the ball in the window in the penalty area. Clips it towards that back post! And it's taken on the volley by Matias Aldivar. And he sends it just wide.
It's a wonderful bit of skill there from Enriquez. Fantastic run, great cross. Zaldivar gets on the end of it, and for a moment I thought it was going to fly in the top corner. Really, really good effort. Nice skills there from both Enriquez and Zaldivar.
Took it decently out of the air, but just didn't quite strike it in the middle of the ball. And came a little bit awkwardly off as you now see Swope Park really with their first opportunity to build out. Here's the right back, Brian Rebellon. Comes over from NASL's Jacksonville Armada with 23 appearances in all competitions a year ago. The RGV back four consisted of Omar Ontiveros, who sprays it out wide to Manny Padilla, and now Rio Grande Valley again directly into the attack as Altivar can play the cross in this time. And again arriving were both Quintanilla and Enriquez, and forcing to just clear there was Amar Didic.
Yeah, good clearance from Didic. He can't take a chance there. He's not quite sure who's behind him. Better get out of the box, away from trouble, give your defense time to settle down and get organized.
An opportunity from a corner. We've seen a pretty solid start from Rio Grande Valley in terms of wanting to go forward. It'll be Todd Wharton, the captain, over to swing in the corner. He has scored twice on the campaign, both from the penalty spot. As we mentioned, the wind, it certainly is reflected over there in that corner flag.
Didn't see too many red jerseys in the box. Let's have a look, just the two of them, as a few more have joined.
As it was lofted in towards that back post, arriving was the central defender Ontiveros. But in the end, it does come out for the goal kick. There's Eric Dick, the goalkeeper. And Juan Cousin, Juan Kamal, you see the desire to play out of the back.
I think it's a risky desire, to be honest. You're playing little balls on the edge of your box. If anyone loses possession, you're in big trouble. But, you know, kudos for playing positively.
You see as well, Rio Grande Valley pressing up the pitch a bit. Here's Graham Smith, the most frequent partner of Didic. Both of these men starting 7 matches. Yeah, I've seen at times Brad Evans, the longtime MLS veteran, settling into that area, as Sporting Kansas City do use their USL squad quite a bit, particularly to have players in their team that maybe aren't playing, getting some games and getting some opportunities to stay fit. As it is a throw in here after the clearance by Connor Donovan. Here is the league's top goal scorer, Carlton Belmar. Gives away, trying to find the feet of Haji Berry, who himself has had a decent run to start this season. 3 goals and 4 assists in his opening 9 starts. Didic with Swope Park since its inception, 64 appearances in all competitions. As nearly giving away there is Rebellon, and he might have just done the job there. As here's Enriquez on his way, has Quintanilla to his left. He'll play him in. Here's Aldo Quintanilla in the penalty area. We'll play it in low towards the run of Aguilar, who came forward, the Guatemalan, but cut out well by Swope Park. Berry. And again. We'll just exchange there with Rodrigo Saravia, the Guatemalan. There are Guatemalans on this pitch. You have seen that impact of U.S. domestic leagues, allowing players from around CONCACAF a chance to be in professional environments. As charging forward there was Graham Smith, and now Parker Marr. And Juan Cousin, Juan Kamal, a homegrown player through the Sporting Kansas City system. Both these clubs affiliated with MLS sides. Swope Park with Sporting Kansas City and Rio Grande Valley with Houston Dynamo. Here's Enriquez again to charge forward. He's had a bright start to this one.
He certainly has. He looks dangerous. As I say that, he gives the ball away. But his first couple of runs have been really good, and he's a player. If you're RGV, you want to get him on the ball and get him attacking and running at Swope Park.
As the Rio Grande Valley manager, Jerson Echeverry, about his side's run of games. He feels pretty positive after a 2-2 draw against Fresno away from home and a 0-0 on this ground against San Antonio last time out. He's getting better at charging forward, creating chances. Aldo Quintanilla in particular has been a menace as he tries to threaten Amar Didic, native of Canada, Edmonton in particular.
Yeah, looks a very solid defender, big, strong lad, but also good on the ball, and looked very, very comfortable at the back in the first few minutes.
Donovan. And he just is forced to boot it away. Didic, by the way, a player with some pedigree. USL All-Team First League, or USL All-League First Team, I should say, 2016, and a Defender of the Year finalist. So someone who's put in a shift for the Swope Park side that has reached the USL Cup final for the last 2 years. They're only 2 years in existence. It's been a pretty decent start for them, losing to Louisville City by 1-0 a year ago, and New York Red Bulls 2 by 5-1 in their first Cup final.
Oh, that's good. Two Cup finals. Yes, you lose. That's tough. But you've made them and you've done it 2 years running. That shows consistency. I guess the question is, can they do it for a third year running?
Certainly have gotten off to a decent start in that effort, in 6th in the West, as Graham Smith was put in a difficult spot there and didn't want to give away to Quintanilla, so it'll be a throw-in for Rio Grande Valley.
Not quite sure what that is. If you're going to boot it clear, boot it down the pitch and try and get an attack going. Don't boot it out of touch.
Wharton. And Zaldivar. Matias Zaldivar, Argentinian. Runs from Arsenal de Sarandi in Argentinian club football. Is now on his way here is Nico Perea. He'll play it out wide for Enriquez. Challenge was coming in quickly from Rebellon. Has eventually played out for the throw.
Yeah, some nice touches there from the likes of Perea, Enriquez, Mexican, Colombians. They've got that natural skill. They look very, very sharp on the attack here.
Kyle Adams. And Quintanilla laying it off for the left back. Tried to leave it there for Aguilar, but a bit too much weight on it. He might still win it back, though. Eventually find its target, Aguilar. Trying to leave it there for Perea in the center of the park. Might fall for Wharton. Going to spray it out wide as Quintanilla might have just done better to let it run. Here's the Mexican Enriquez. He'll swing the right foot across, and it's dangerous. And eventually headed away there, and there was Parker Marr. And now Belmar with a lovely bit of skill there to get around the defender, but couldn't get around two. And now Aguilar on the edge of the area. Zaldivar's cross in is too close to the goalkeeper, Eric Dick.
Oh, needed a better cross there from Zaldivar. He could have picked out someone in the middle of the box, but lovely attacking play from RGV. Good skill, good positive pressing from them. They're nearly getting the ball. It's a dangerous way that Swope Park play at the back. They take risks, and if you press up high, RGV might get something out of this.
As we get a look here at the service coming from either side of the area, there's Enriquez's ball in. It was actually dealt with by Graham Smith in the end. And then it was Barry who would give away possession, leading to the cross from Zaldivar. Rebellon, whose touch was way too loose, and one back there by Enriquez. Decent build up here, left by Aguilar. Wharton returning the favor and eventually cut out there by Marr. There's a decent build up there from Rio Grande Valley, and an opportunity again is on for Zaldivar. Going to back heel into the run of the overlapping Padilla, but a bit too far out in front, and Marshall out of play for the goal kick.
Yeah, once again, look at the possession there. Actually, look, I was about to say RGV are looking good in possession. They only got 40%, but they're so sharp up front. They're creating
so much more purpose about it.
Yeah, that's it. It doesn't, you can have more possession and you have it in your own half. It's not going to hurt anybody. It's what you do with it. And there's certainly that RGV have looked very sharp up front. Once again, Enriquez, Perea, Zaldivar have impressed.
Marr. And picking the ball up there was Minter. Sent forward by Parker Marr towards the run of Haji Berry. By the corner flag, and a run of the defender Donovan, going to try and hit the cross early. Cut out well by Ontiveros. Throw is taken quickly. Berry for Minter, whose cross is sent in. And it was a dangerous one towards Tyler Blackwood, headed away. Berry nearly there, but instead, Rio Grande Valley can play out. Heavy sliding challenge coming in from Rebellon, who caught a bit too much of the man, and now this could be dangerous here for Brian Rebellon. That might be yellow.
It might be. If he's caught the player, if he's caught him, it would be a yellow. Let's have a look at it again. Does he get the ball cleanly? Does he not? That's a difficult decision for the referee. Let's have a look. And he gets the ball. It's if you had the benefit of a replay there, I do not think it's a yellow, but referee doesn't have that benefit. He's got to call it as he sees it, and he sees it as dangerous play. Maybe because the foot's up. Maybe that's what swings his mind. Enriquez is definitely hobbling a little bit, but the moment you lift your foot up, even if you do win the ball, it can be deemed dangerous play.
Yeah, the initial view of it would not seem to indicate that that was a yellow card on replay, but you can understand from the referee's vantage point, heavy sliding challenge going through the ball to be considered that way. But Certainly on replay, that would not have stood up to scrutiny as the ball is given away out for the throw. And it is an interesting position that the referee is in, because the referee really tends to side more, in most cases, in the side of not rewarding a great challenge, but trying to protect the players.
Yes, absolutely, which is why if you're going to challenge by sliding in, then rather don't challenge, just stand up. It's difficult these days. Even if it is a good, strong challenge, referees are there to defend players, which is fair enough. Your career's at stake. You don't want even a good challenge to end up giving you a broken leg. So difficult for referees, and I've got no problem if they rather be conservative and don't allow any tackle that they think might hurt a player.
As it does come all the way out for the goal kickoff of Corti's attempt to try and get the play started. You mentioned the possession figures. This is a lot of passing between the back five. That's a decent ball there from Eric Dick to find Graham Smith on his way. Here's Marr.
You see all that possession, and they haven't even crossed their halfway line before they lose possession. It's possession in the opponent's half that, for me, is more valuable.
Rio Grande Valley certainly have the better of that so far as Nico Corti distributes. You're told by Jerson Echeverria that he's had a run in training with the Houston Dynamo side. He's impressed enough. The goalkeeper, coming from a national championship winning side at Stanford, started 23 times for the Pac-12 side. Now really getting his first run in a senior setup. In college, though, Gary, you might appreciate this. 23 starts for Stanford, conceded just 9 goals.
Wow, that's always good. Those figures are the sort of figures goalkeepers dream of.
As it's sent long there by Connor Donovan, but the whistle had went. It should be a free kick for RGV, I believe. There you see the Swope Park manager, Paulo Nagamura, a decorated career in American soccer. Takes over for the outgoing Nikola Popovic. As an opportunity is on here for Enriquez on the byline, tries to clip the cross back in, and it's just that bit of service that's lacking at the moment from Rio Grande Valley.
Yeah, it's a good possibility there for Enriquez. Give him credit for getting there, for making it happen, for getting past his player. Let's have a look at it again. He gets past. You're right, the final cross has to be a little bit higher away from the keeper, but certainly RGV are creating some nice opportunities.
Now, nearly a danger of giving away there was Smith. Does eventually find the captain, Saravia. Rebellon. Rodrigo Saravia, the Guatemalan, joins from the setup at Columbus Crew. As the touch is heavy there from Marr and given away. Going down there was Minter after the ball was played. Now charging on here is Wharton. And the offside flag went up as Zaldivar had drifted off.
Yeah, it's very important for Zaldivar. He's looking down the line. He can see his offside position. He's got to have football intelligence there, keep himself onside. If he stays just a little bit onside, that could have turned out to be a great ball that he can then stick into the danger area. But this is how they improve, learn from these mistakes.
Swope Park certainly a side that do build out from the academy. 9 products in the team last season accounted for 25% of the minutes played, and they certainly continue in that tradition. Again, as a giveaway sends Quintanilla on his way. Here's Quintanilla working on multiple defenders. Quintanilla in the area, still Quintanilla, and it's actually left off there for Aguilar, who took the shot and watched it go wide. Quintanilla frustrated. He wanted the reward for all his work.
That was a great run from Quintanilla. Absolutely brilliant. One player after another. Let's have a look at it again here. Beats them, goes round the goalkeepers, about to tuck it into the back of the net. And it's missed. Can you believe it?
From that far out with only a defender on the line past the goalkeeper. And Quintanilla has to be frustrated that he didn't get the opportunity to take his chance.
Frustrated is a polite word.
A forward with a forward's instinct wouldn't want someone taking a scoring opportunity off him, particularly the club's top goal scorer on this 2018 campaign.
A bit of excitement there. Once again, we've said RGV, they're creating more opportunities. They're exciting. They run at you. They take you on. They dribble. And that was another fantastic example of why they're exciting to watch. It's been Enriquez most of the first half. And now we've seen a bit more of Quintanilla and what he can do. Brian
Rebellon. So you have really yet to find that service forward towards Belmar, towards Barry, the danger man. This is a decent ball. Belmar withdrawing to try and get a touch of the ball. Now here he is. 8 goals on the campaign. Leaves it for Saravia. This is more like it from Swope Park. Trying to get a bit further up the pitch. Saravia again. And now Juan Kumal. And just fizzled out in the end. But Swope Park will continue to try and build. Certainly interesting for a side with so many young players. Try and forge this style. It permeates throughout the sporting organization. Was listening to Gareth Southgate, the English manager, talking about Pep Guardiola, obviously with Manchester City winning the Premier League this year, and just how much he himself has kind of changed the way football is viewed around the world as a game where the correct way is to build out. And certainly Swope Park with probably a 50-pass move there as he tries to send it long towards Blackwood and eventually played out. But so many teams are now trying to play in that Barcelona way.
Yeah, it's fantastic if you can pull it off. The only one I would say is be careful playing out from the back as a goalkeeper and taking risks. As we see the build-up on the right here.
The cross
nice,
is sent
easy
in.
One. Yeah, nice, easy for the keeper. I'm all in favor of playing good football, but when it's risky, just knock it long. And we've seen a couple of keepers overseas the last few weeks have their passes intercepted. It's an easy goal for the opposition. And to me, it's a risk not worth taking.
We saw it in Europa League this week, didn't we, in the final?
Yes, good example.
For Atletico Madrid's opening goal.
Yep.
As you see,
Mandanda trying to play out from the back, and it wasn't Luis Gustavo, it was the other centre half who lost control of it. And Griezmann punished them, and that was basically game over. Up until then, Marseille was certainly the better side, and then Atletico Madrid took over and won comfortably.
Quintanilla flicking on for the run of Enriquez. He's on his way. Enriquez! Did Eric Dick just get a palm to it? He did not. And it does come out for the goal kick.
Yeah, it's a good strike. I think the keeper had it under control, was just seeing it over the crossbar. Once again, Enriquez, an exciting player, one who's looking to create opportunities.
Challenge in there from Warden, and you see his frustration. He thought he got a majority of the ball there. Going down there was Chase Minter. As we'll take another look at the opportunity from Enriquez. You see there, he's certainly is not shy about taking shots from a long way out, but that one fizzing over the bar.
Yeah, it was too direct. It was at Eric Dick. It needed to go wide towards the corner and make the goalkeeper work a bit more.
Didic. He's not going to try and play it. He's going to try and send it long. Blackwood angling his run the wrong way, and Kyle Adams will swing it back. Blackwood coming through. Another Park Rangers. Queen's Park Rangers in England.
All right.
You set up, and then eventually at Newport County.
Must admit, I'm waiting for Swope Park to get into their groove, because so far they haven't done a lot for me. They haven't conceded, fair enough, but it's been all RGV, creating opportunities, coming close, coming very, very close in Quintanilla's case. And I haven't seen much from Swope Park yet. And this is a team that's made 2 finals. I'm assuming there's a lot more there which could start to come out as the game moves on.
As we will keep you up to date on the scores from around the grounds, particularly in the Western Conference. See there, San Antonio, the team that drew 0-0 with the Rio Grande Valley last time out, lead by 1-0. The goal coming courtesy of Omar Gordon. They lead Tulsa Roughnecks, who have certainly been off to a rough start on this campaign, have actually yet to win, with 5 draws and 4 losses. There will be a free kick here for Rio Grande Valley and Wharton to take. You see the wind rippling his jersey. Certainly does play a role, as it played quickly to Quintanilla on the edge of the area. On the turn, had the run of Enriquez, but couldn't sort out his touch. With no blue shirts forward, will come all the way out to Padilla. Trying, playing out wide to Zaldivar. Taken down well off the chest by Kyle Adams. And now Rio Grande Valley can build out. Padilla again. And the retreating center back Ontiveros. Here's Wharton, who has certainly been a leader with the club in his 2nd season. appeared in 30 matches last year, has started every match this year. Here's Enriquez now to cross his peel back low. Heavy touch there from Quintanilla. Slide in to try and maintain possession. He does. Left for Perea. And Nico Perea unable to find the right bend on that one.
Or the right height, to be honest, but certainly Enrique's done that left, creating opportunities. If you get that ball in that box, eventually somebody's going to drop the right way for Quintanilla or somebody up front to get a shot on target.
Tug at the shirt there from Mar does eventually earn a free kick for Swope Park. Both Quintanilla and Enriquez coming from Mexican setups. Enriquez coming from the Tijuana setup with Xolos' B team. And Quintanilla coming from Querétaro. Also grew up in the Santos Laguna system. Santos Laguna off to a decent start in the Clausura Liguilla final against Toluca.
Here's us playing at the back again from Swope Park. It's risky, especially if you press, which RGV are trying to do. But so far, Swope Park have dealt with it extremely well. And the question is, what can they do going forward?
Juan Kamal going to try and play it over the top towards Blackwood, whose touch was just a bit off. Corti had come off his line a little bit. Blackwood doing well to win it back. On the edge of the area, leaving it for Barry, trying to flick it on towards Belmar. But if Blackwood had sorted out his touch, he certainly would have had Corti in a dangerous position.
You're right, the keeper was well off his line there. One touch would have seen him in all sorts of trouble.
And now Zaldivar is going to play towards the run of Quintanilla, but goalkeeper Eric Dick reading well.
He did read it well. It looked like a great break for a moment. I thought, here we go. But the keeper, he was alert to the problem.
Blackwood nearly recovering there. You see the scoreless run continues for Oklahoma City over 560 minutes.
Wow.
0-0 at the half with Colorado Springs.
Well, you wouldn't want to be the strikers in that team. I'm sure the manager's been having a quiet word with you, and maybe a not so quiet word.
Minter going to send Mar on his way, but again, just too heavy there. Seen that a few times from the service from Swope Park Rangers. Nico Corti, the goalkeeper, started 8 of the 9 games for Rio Grande Valley. Despite being linked with an MLS club, Rio Grande Valley keeping a fairly regular team. We've seen some others start 30 and 35 players over the course of a campaign. Montiveros and Perea and Connor Donovan comes from the Orlando City setup, mainly in their B side, as it's sent on by Padilla, but Perea had stopped his run. Is still a throw-in, thrown into the area by Quintanilla, trying to flick on his way, appeals for handball, the flag goes up, and it's play on. Here's Zaldivar! And it's into the side netting. The assistant's flag went up. I thought that might have been for handball for a moment.
I'm not quite sure what it was for, but it was ignored, and there was a decent shot just wide. Once again, RGV being the ones to cause the problems, to cause the threats, and to play the more entertaining attacking football.
Here's Mar. Again on his way, and now an opportunity. Could have left it for Saravia, now eventually does find him. Rebellon. And Blackwood. Brian Rebellon also in USL with LA Galaxy 2, but before that came through various setups in his native Colombia. As Didic will spray it out wide, but never the right ball, and out to touch. As we take a look here at, again, the sequence, Quintanilla flicking on. It actually might have been handball on Quintanilla that the flag went up for. And I think the referee might have waved it off. I see the play continued, and Zaldivar, I believe, shot it through the legs of the defender and into the side netting.
I'm not quite sure why the referee would wave it off. If his linesman says it's a handball, it's a handball, unless he felt it was unintentional and therefore not a handball. So, interesting situation. A goal wasn't scored, so no controversy.
Now you wonder how an assistant and a head referee can disagree. I mean, it's bound to happen, but generally they present united fronts. As Mar will slide it in for Juan Kamal, the Malaysian. Malaysian-born parents, born himself in Illinois. Graham Smith. first-round pick in MLS Super Draft, 18th overall. As the ball is sent for Blackwood to try and run onto it. As Corti getting there in time ahead of Ontiveros.
Yeah, once again for Swope Park, not the most well-constructed attack. They're hit and hope a lot of the time, which for a team that's done so well in the past is surprising.
See Perea on his way, waving off appeals for handball as now Zaldivar can try and dig out the right service, or perhaps even the right shot at Zaldivar. And again, Eric Dick was behind it.
Zaldivar with a decent effort, still not strong enough, but the idea is good. And Eric Dick holding on to it. I guess the problem there for the keeper is if you spill it, then the striker's all there to finish it off. So he held on to it nicely. Very impressed with that, but somehow still need a bit more quality from RGV when they get in that box.
Yeah, and you can see based off the opening half hour, they have certainly been the better side, but that lack of quality perhaps leading to why they've drawn so often at their home ground.
Yep, that's a fair comment. The skills have been wonderful getting there. The end product hasn't been good enough as yet. We might still be surprised.
We will not. Here is Saravia. Jersey number 93. See 5 players out on the pitch wearing a number 70 or higher. As now Belmar's in the air. He's certainly dangerous. Belmar! And he hit the frame of the goal. I don't think Corti had that covered. It's a decent opportunity for the league's top scorer.
Decent. That's a great strike from out wide. Absolutely brilliant. He's done very little in this first half, but he gets one chance. Left foot smacks it against the crossbar and nearly gets the first goal of the game. Absolutely brilliant piece of skill.
Don't think Corti had that covered, Gary.
Probably not. No, I mean, if it's that good a strike, it's difficult for the keeper to get to it. Amazing. They've done so little, Swope Park, one chance, and they nearly get that opening goal.
And that is the danger in the boots of Carlton Belmar, who is already among the USL's top scorers. Has 37 in his career. Now 23 with Swope Park after a decent return with 14 last year. Had 1 in his first year with the club and now with 8 on this campaign.
Well, if you mix Belmar's shooting with RGV's build-up, you'd have the perfect combination.
If all of it was funneling towards Belmar, Rio Grande Valley might be top of the league. As here's Juan Kamal. Seen a real class from him in the center of the park, figuring out his runs and when to dribble, when to lay off. Quintanilla under a bit of pressure from Belmar. Nearly gave away, but Badia can keep it in play. We'll just clip it up towards the Mexican Aldo Quintanilla. Perea. And Wharton. Forced the touchback, and now Rio Grande, or rather Swope Park, can apply a bit of pressure their own, and SPR forcing the throw-in. As the whistle does go, not quite sure we'll have the cooling break tonight that the temperatures normally would call for. You wonder if that is because of the wind in the area, perhaps bringing down the wind chill a little bit. It's not quite such a hot evening, so we will not have the hydration break that we were expecting. As Rebellon leaves off for Didic and now Smith.
Looking at the passes there, nearly double for Swope Park, but I would say the majority of those in their own half, so I'm not sure they count as much value. But it shows you that they're a good possession side, good playing side, as you said, in the sort of Pep Guardiola mode, and certainly very sharp up front when they get the opportunities.
Minter for Haji Berry. Oh, it's a nice touch to work his way around Ontiveros on the edge of the area. Here's Belmar. Might find a window to shoot. He does. It does come off of Connor Donovan in the end. That was lovely from Haji Berry. And Swope Park might have just grown into the game here in the last 10 minutes. Not just possessing, but playing with a bit of purpose. Rebellon. And Saravia. Will attempt to switch and does so. You see maybe the wind playing a role there in the flight of that ball. Certainly keep track of that for services into the area. It's a flick on from Barry. Try to return from Minter, who just couldn't sort his feet out. And now opportunity for Rio Grande Valley to hit on the counter. Enriquez sliding challenge coming in. Saravia just getting a bit there of Enriquez, and he might draw a second yellow this match after drawing one early on Rebellon, but the referee, Rosendo Mendoza, just allowing play on for a normal foul. Matias Aldivar. 8 appearances in the top league of Argentina before coming over, as the sliding effort came in from Graham Smith out for the throw. Zaldivar Quintanilla trying to make a run into the area, just tries to leave it there for him and cut out. Now an opportunity for Haji Berry, 1v4 at the moment, and easily picked off him by Perea.
He did so well to actually win the ball in the first place. He's playing as a bit of a lone striker there, and big, strong lad up front. Did so well to win it and then lost possession.
Besides split the season series last year, win, a loss, and a draw in 3 meetings overall. Rio Grande Valley leading the series with 3 victories to Swope Park's 2. Swope Park Rangers with just 1 win in their last 5 after starting the campaign with 3 wins from 4, so hasn't quite been kicking on from an incredible start, including 8 goals in their first 2. Here is Aguilar. Number 10 just not having a ton of the ball. You see back to front, but not a ton in between for the number 10. Sent along there by Donovan. Getting something on it was Rebellon, but only away for the throw. See that big bar in behind for the first half, the Swope Park goal, called the scoreboard bar. It's a lovely ground here, HEB Park. It's a decent night out as well, as Aldivar was struck from a long way out and was straight at the goalkeeper, Eric Dick.
Yeah, nice effort, but you've got to be better than that to beat Eric Dick from outside the box. So at least, again, we'll say it, RGV, positive, trying, but needs to be better than this, and it is a long, long way. To have to be in the top corner to even have a chance of beating the keeper.
We mentioned it in the build-up, Swope Park playing a ton away from home to start this year, actually changed home stadiums midway. Will now play all their matches at Children's Mercy Park, where Sporting Kansas City play. Just the best facility in the area. But on account of having a home match postponed, played 7 of their first 10 away.
Maybe that explains why they play more of a almost like a counter-attack style. They're holding onto the ball, keeping possession in their own half, and every once in a while a long ball forward to Haji Berry or Colton Belmar, which has proved effective. But a lot of their plays in their own half, either that's their style of play or because they're away from home in so many matches, it's just become a natural thing to sit back, let the home team come at you and counter-attack them.
Padilla going down after Minter shoved out. Padilla just trying to send towards Quintanilla, but cut out. See that line from Swope Park fairly high, as Barry going to try and leave it off from Minter, and then takes a swing at it, and eventually Wharton just booting it long, but straight at the Swope Park keeper. Here's some of the conversation there over in that technical area. Here is Belmar, the danger man. Going to run it Padilla towards the byline. Padilla getting something on it, but leaves a bit too much, maybe perhaps for Belmar, who pokes at it, and eventually Padilla very smartly playing it off of Belmar and out for the goal kick.
Yeah, Belmar's such a threat out wide. I was almost going to say shoot. He can shoot from almost anywhere. And that's a great, great skill. And you can see why he is the top goal scorer in the league with that one opportunity he had, which he smashed against the crossbar.
And it is interesting, when he does get on the ball, you do feel almost that sense of anticipation that he's going to make some magic happen.
Yeah, it's such a different style compared to RGV. Certainly up front, Swope Park, a big, strong, physical, powerful, whereas we see here, it's skill, it's technique, it's dribbling, it's trying to play it wide. It's more the sort of Mexican, perhaps South American style versus the big boys up front for Swope Park, which is perhaps more a US or a British style.
All the way back to the goalkeeper, and Eric Dick trying to play it towards Belmar, but cut out by Zaldivar, who can try and send a cross in. Took a deflection off of Minter on the way through, and eventually away by Graham Smith.
Yeah, just not able to find a decent ball on the edge of the box. RGV, they're probing, but that final ball isn't of good enough quality to break down the Swope Park defense.
Ontiveros and Wharton. And now Connor Donovan. 15 starts a year ago in USL with Orlando City B, as Quintanilla allows Graham Smith to poke it away for the throw. Rio Grande Valley, as we mentioned, on a run of 3 straight draws. They wouldn't want to see the 0-0 for much longer, as now Belmar is going to have a chance to run away from Padilla. Both men tugging at each other. Belmar just peeling it back and now assessing his options. Will spray it towards that right-hand side, taken down off the chest by Adams, who will just let Corti play it. See, Belmar probably could have continued, but that would have been a 100-yard sprint.
And with someone pulling you from behind, that's a tiring run. I just always feel with strikers, when they're out wide, they try and do these crossfield balls that midfielders do. Just play it simple. You're a striker. Unless you're a fantastic striker, you can't knock them across the park. That's for the midfielders to do.
Yeah, particularly you would imagine there weren't too many options trying to play the miraculous ball for Blackwood. Donovan. Back for Corti. The one positive you'd have to imagine for Gerson Echeverry after leaking goals to start this season, 3 clean sheets in 4. So even though they are drawing matches, they are still defending fairly well. Haven't given away too many chances tonight, as here's Juan Kumal, but heavy challenge in from Wharton.
Yeah, unnecessary challenge, I think, right in front of the referee having a word, probably saying, you know, do it again and you'll get a yellow card. I just think unless there's some benefit to bringing someone down, just let them have the ball, back off. It's, you know, just now you trip someone up and then it's a yellow, and then you trip them up by mistake again later on, and then suddenly you're on a red card and you're wondering why you got there. Well, you probably got there because you're giving unnecessary fouls away in the first place.
Now Belmar again. Play it for Barry, who's been his partner. Up top, combining for goals to each other. Belmar, on top of having the 8 goals, does have the 2 assists as well. He's quickly established himself as a standout figure, now being chased by Efrain Alvarez of LA Galaxy 2. Put a hat-trick past St. Louis, got a brace against Portland Timbers 2. Scored against Phoenix Rising as well, so he's quickly climbing the goal-scoring charts at 15 years of age.
Wow.
You do see a 15-year-old on the bench as well for Swope Park, a midfielder, Gianluca Busio.
That is young. I mean, 17. I think I'm trying to think. Wayne Rooney, when he made it at Everton, was 16, and that was a real rarity for the EPL. But 15 is so young. Got to have a super talent to be in a squad at that age. So that augurs well. I mean, that's what you want to see in the US, is as many really young quality players coming through as possible.
And you'd imagine on that track, you would be foregoing college and maybe getting straight into the sporting side, maybe at 18 years of age or perhaps even sooner. As here is Enriquez now with an opportunity, as a couple of runners with him. Enriquez with a step over, still on for Enriquez. Sliding challenge comes in for Rebellon, and it is a penalty.
Yes, Enriquez, fantastic run, causing all sorts of problems there, and eventually gets his just reward. Penalty given. Players are arguing, but let's have a look at it again. It's the cover from the fullback there, Rebellon.
And you can say that even though Enriquez was already on his way down, it's still a foul challenge, is it not?
Yeah, look, to me it was, he's got the ball, the striker, and you come in and tackle and you don't win that ball, you're going to be giving away a penalty every time. So for me, it's the right decision. I'd like to see it again just to make 100% sure, but it doesn't make any difference what we think. Chris, it's been given.
Rosendo Mendoza pointing to the spot, and it is Wharton who has converted on his 2 attempts from 12 yards out. And it's the captain you see there, Paulo Nagamura, not with too many arguments.
They're saying to Eric, it's coming on your left, Eric's left, so the right as we look now. Let's see if the advice he's been given from a touchline is correct. So as we look at it, they're saying Wharton will go to our right as we look at it, the goalkeeper's left.
And even if not, just playing mind games with the penalty taker. 24 years of age, Todd Wharton from the spot to give Rio Grande Valley the lead. Takes a hesitation step, and it's the save produced by Eric Dick. Going to his right. And it seemed like it was hit fairly down the middle there from Todd Wharton. You wonder if the mind games play a role, but either way, we're still 0-0.
What a good save that was. This is well hit. Let's look at it again. This is not a miss as such. This is a fantastic save from Eric Dick. Chooses the right way and uses a strong upper arm there, uses his left arm as his diving, strong arm tips it away. As
a strike comes from a long way out, and Adams as well on the edge of the penalty area. But it seemed there that maybe the penalty was hit a bit too centrally. And it allowed it for Eric Dick to save.
Eric's dived to his right, so it wasn't that central. It might not have been in the corner, but it was hit hard. And I think you've got to give huge credit to the goalkeeper there. That's a fantastic save.
As we have been told, there will be about a minute to be added on. Smith now under pressure. Laying back to his goalkeeper, and it bounced off the post, but the whistle had gone for a foul challenge. I believe it was Zaldivad over there on that far side, putting Smith under a bit of pressure. He hit the frame of his own goal.
Good strike. That's the closest of RGV have come.
It was Aguilar rather with the challenge in on Graham Smith.
Thing is, they're playing, taking risks at the back there. We mentioned it before, Swope Park. They were nearly punished that time.
There is the confirmation of the minute to be added on. Didic. A couple of major talking points here towards the end of that first half. The penalty decision. Trying to slide it in towards Belmar was Minter. Cut out there by Padilla. In the area is Minter again, trying to leave it for Barry, but coming across well and reading it was Ontiveros. And he tries to send Aguilar in his way and said,
comes and collects. So yeah, wow, penalty saved, a couple of close chances across bar. It's been had some exciting moments this first half.
But certainly the big talking point entering the break is Todd Wharton failing to convert from the spot. It's Eric Dick producing the save ahead of halftime. Brian Rebellon giving away the penalty on the challenge against Jesus Enriquez, but Wharton unable to make it 1-0 to the hosts. It's been a fairly entertaining first half. We'll bring you the first half highlights and much more here at the interval. It's Rio Grande Valley 0, Swope Park Rangers 0. Live from Rio Grande Valley, Edinburgh, Texas, it is 0-0 between RGV FC Toros and Swope Park Rangers. The big talking point ahead of the halftime interval is a penalty missed by Todd Wharton, although Gary Bailey, my broadcast partner, would say it's more a goalkeeper save and the magic that he produced. As we can now show you the USL goals of the week. I'd like to show you the best from around the league. Here are the USL goals of the week for the previous week of play.
Drogba blast! And what a world-class goal that is from Didier Drogba.
But they've found the path through, and it's a good ball to the back post. Gordon Wiles there, and what a strike from the German on the volley. Absolutely fantastic.
Howard curls it in. Oh, what a strike from the captain! Carl Howard curls it in, top corner. A lead there for Brown. Oh, Brown just couldn't fit it behind that last defender. Still a chance that's there, and a goal. Reno has leveled. Dania, more space here. The rim is in! Jesus Enriquez with an epic curler.
And you saw Jesus Enriquez from our game providing a worldie against Fresno. Didier Drogba in there as well. Some fun goals from around the league. You take a look at the first half stats. We talked about it a lot in commentary, Gary. Possession favoring Swope Park, but certainly the purpose and the chances for Rio Grande Valley.
Yeah, RGV much better. 8 shots, 3 on target. I'd take that any day because I want to work the opposition goalkeeper. Yet the one chance that did go to Swope Park was a fantastic strike by Carlton Belmar. How he even got that strike in, I don't know. It's smashed against the crossbar. So I would say certainly RGV were the better of the first half, and only a great save from Eric Dick from that penalty, keeping the scores level.
As that is how we are at 0-0 at the halftime interval. Possession favoring Swope Park, but a lot of it in their own half. As it should be a fun week of Open Cup action this week. We had the second round a week ago. A few USL sides going out, but a lot of USL sides going against each other here in the third round. Pittsburgh and Cincinnati will be a fun one there at 7 o'clock on Wednesday night. San Antonio, Colorado Springs as well. Louisville, St. Louis, Richmond, Penn, Reno, Sacramento. So a lot of USL sides going against each other. What is a fairly historic competition since 1914 when we've been playing the U.S. Open Cup in this country, so more than 100 years. We had the FA Cup final today in England. Yes. Now some U.S. Open Cup action on Wednesday night.
Don't mention the FA Cup again.
As Manchester United losing by a goal to nil to Chelsea today. Rio Grande Valley and the Swope Park Rangers scoreless at the half. It's 0-0. You're watching the USL.
A couple of moves inside the area.
Howard curls it in. Oh, what a strike from the captain! The rim is in! Jesus Enriquez! Drogba blast! And what a world-class goal that is from Didier Drogba. Stutter step, Cavalluzzo!
Saved by Mydell. Into the penalty area for 3, Frater. And a fantastic save produced by Matt Van Oekel. Incredible save.
Ellie from distance. And Mydell has converted.
It's a good ball to the back post. Gordon Wiles there, and what a strike from the German.
Zubak has a break on goal. He's looking to put the Galaxy on top 1-0, and he does. Ethan Zubak.
Marco looking to cross, does, low cross, punched away.
Takes a shot. Now a battle in the box. Shot it in!
Kelly! Dave Kelly!
Side left, Holland will knock it back to the header. Score! Cross into the middle for Williamson.
Welcome back from HEB Park. Chris Whittingham, Gary Bailey on commentary of this one. Let's bring you some of the latest from around USL. US Open Cup with 15 teams advancing from the second round. The third round should be a fun one with plenty of USL teams going against each other. This is interesting, Gary. Tampa Bay Rowdies sacking their manager, Stuart Campbell. They bring in Neil Collins, who is a starting center back for the team. Now going to take over as manager. That's an interesting change, isn't it?
It's always very, very difficult. I mean, you've now got to manage players who you were having a beer with and they were your teammates a couple of weeks ago. And it's a totally different way of interacting with them. You've got to make some harsh decisions, leave some of your best mates out the team. Good luck to Neil. I hope he pulls it off, but it's going to be a big challenge for him.
And then you see on the bottom of your screen the spectrum of USL. Didier Drogba still putting the goals at age 40, but Efrain Alvarez, the 15-year-old for LA Galaxy 2, has been on a tear. 15 years of age, Gary.
Brilliant. 15 is phenomenal. All I can say to young Alvarez, if you have a career like Didier Drogba, you will be mega wealthy, mega famous. Good luck to you. Learn from Didier and try and follow his footsteps.
And he's banging in the goals for LA Galaxy 2. Also, the U.S. system have to get him involved. LA Galaxy have to get him involved because he is a dual national between the United States and Mexico. If you're scoring professional goals age 15, get him in the national team.
Sign him up. Put him in the first team. Bring him on for the last minute.
Right.
Then he's a U.S. player for life.
Right. They've got upcoming friendlies against Bolivia as well, so they should get him in the team. As you see the upcoming fixture list, the two sides we have here tonight, Rio Grande Valley will be back in action on Wednesday, taking on that LA Galaxy 2 side, so they hope not to be the next victims of Efrain Alvarez. And then Didier Drogba's Phoenix Rising, he might not be in the team. I saw as part of the BBC World Cup commentary team for the upcoming World Cup, so maybe this will be his last game before going off to Russia, but they'll take on this very same Swope Park side.
Yeah, and if he's not there, then look for Asante, the Ghanaian international. He's got a whole bunch of appearances at full international level for Ghana. He's a very, very good player.
I'll see Portland Timbers too, Real Monarchs in action, Orange County taking on Fresno as we bring you some upcoming fixtures here on our national TV partner ESPN on ESPN3, available free air, not with the ESPN Plus service. There you see St. Louis. They are playing host to Phoenix Rising. That'll be a fun one on May the 30th. And then we start the linear broadcast with Nashville taking on Indy. Indy then taking on Ottawa, OKC Energy taking on Las Vegas Lights, all on ESPN News. That is where you check those games out. We'll carry on with halftime coverage of Rio Grande Valley and Swope Park next. Live from HEB Park in the Rio Grande Valley, this is RGV playing a 0-0 draw through 45 minutes with Swope Park Rangers. Certainly, given the number of draws they've had in their recent run of form, would not like to see the same scoreline at the end of the next 45 minutes. Chris Whittingham, the former Manchester United goalkeeper, Gary Bailey, alongside us. We can now bring you our first half highlights of this one. Plenty of talking points to get through. We'll also show you the penalty decision and eventually the penalty that went against Rio Grande Valley in terms of trying to convert as we now share the first half highlights. Jesus Enriquez was the danger man, and the cross will be sent in towards Zaldivar on that far side. It'll be Zaldivar again trying to provide the service into the area, dealt with there by Swope Park as the chances will start to fly in. Wharton swinging in the corner. Eventually not dangerous in the end.
It's all RGV, isn't it? Another cross coming in. Well cleared by Swope Park there, but certainly early on, RGV looked really, really good. This, is it a yellow? He wins the ball, there's no question about it there, Rebellon, but did he have his foot up? Did he have his stud showing?
And this is at the end of a long run from Aldo Quintanilla, and eventually Aguilar taking it off his foot and sending it wide. Enriquez again trying from a long way out.
Quintana had a fantastic opportunity, great run at the very, very death. His own teammate takes it off his feet, and look at this for a save. Absolutely brilliant there with his left arm, Eric Dick. That is a really good penalty save.
Yeah, the penalty was given away by Rebellon, who is on a yellow. And eventually it was taken there by Todd Wharton and well saved there by Eric Dick. As you see the upcoming fixtures for the visitors, Swope Park Rangers, they're back in action next weekend. Finally at home, 3 of the next 4 at home, taking on the Phoenix Rising side that certainly has been dangerous throughout the opening third of the season. Then home with St. Louis, as you see upcoming for Rio Grande Valley FC Toros. With the Open Cup going on midweek, a couple of sides that are not eligible for the Open Cup on account of their link with MLS clubs. Rio Grande Valley taking on LA Galaxy 2 here in the Valley once again at home. They'll eventually have a run of games away from them, including at Real Monarchs, at Oklahoma City Energy, who continue their scoreless drought this evening. Portland Timbers 2 and Phoenix Rising as well, so Phoenix on the cards for both of these teams. Certainly Phoenix dangerous opposition.
Always, always. Didier Drogba and those Ghanaian players, Asante being one of them. There's another one also that's played a lot of international matches. Good side, Phoenix, quality players.
Always interesting to see Rio Grande Valley and both sides out on the pitch, but the manager is the one that's holding up play at the moment, coming from the locker room and walking across. I imagine we'll get started relatively quickly.
Walking, having a leisurely stroll.
He is under no rush whatsoever.
Look, what is he, a golfer? He's putting the divots back. I love it.
He's got
great attitude.
There is a golf course directly linked with the stadium. You can see it in the pre-match when we're sort of aligning up our shots. We very often watch golfers setting up their shots as the sun sets. Gerson Echeverry, the former Seton Hall coach, coming from the college game, played with the Houston Dynamo manager Wilma Cabrera in Colombia. And had a career in the United States as well, managed youth national teams for the United States. And now getting his first go at professional management here with Rio Grande Valley. Aldo Quintanilla is just about set to get us underway. And Rio Grande Valley, after really dominating the chances in the first half, but unable to convert them into goals, got a penalty, but Todd Wharton could not put it away after scoring 2 from the penalty spot earlier this year. As we are underway here in the second half, Rio Grande Valley, you'd have to say, will feel unlucky to not be 1 or 2-0 on top here entering this second half.
Yep, they certainly will do. They had the better of the first half, as you say, a penalty, very well saved. A couple of other opportunities where a better final ball would have seen a result. And we said beforehand, you need goals if you're going to turn draws into victory, and so far the goal hasn't come for RGV.
Badia trying to flick on towards Renazaldi Vadua, given away to the feet of Belmar. We'd certainly, from a Swope Park point of view, like to see him get involved in the play a bit more. A lot of passing between the defenders, but not a ton of action for Carlton Belmar. You see drifting a bit further central as it's given away there in the center of the park. Aguilar going to send Zaldivar on his way, but his touch far too heavy, giving away. Now here is Juan Kamal. Going to play the 1-2 there with Barry. Here's Juan Kamal, well on his way. Juan Kamal! Well struck, but Nico Corti down to his right and saving well.
Yeah, good save from the keeper, Juan Kamal. What a good run, and the way he held off the other midfield players trying to get the ball from him and keep his head up and look for opportunity. He's got some talent, this young man.
And it all started with what looked to be a decent build-up from Rio Grande Valley, but the giveaway, as you see there, the attempt from Juan Kamal.
Yeah, well held by Corti in goals there.
Corti actually earning his spot in this team via a tryout at a combine for goalkeepers. Eventually won his place in this team, and now has become fairly regular in it as well. Unchanged, both sides are out of the break. Swope Park with a back five of Eric Dick in goal. Right back, Brian Rebellon. That man, Amr Didic. Here's Graham Smith at left center back, next to Parker Marr. Smith electing to try and send it long towards Tyler Blackwood, who's part of that front three as Enriquez goes down, and the whistle goes for a free kick. Rebellon there, the offender. He's going to have to be careful because he is on a yellow already. And that is exactly the conversation that Rosendo Mendoza is having with him. Midfield three of Juan Kamal, Rodrigo Saravia, and Chase Minter. Haji Berry leading the line in that front three along Tyler Blackwood and Carlton Belmar, as giving away there was Donovan, who just had to sit forward.
Just going back to Rebellon, you mentioned that he was on a yellow and he gave away the foul there. Game management is the word now for him. He's got to be careful that he doesn't come late on a tackle, doesn't lift up an elbow when he's heading the ball, because he knows the referee has given him, if not a final warning, certainly is said to be extremely careful. So game management for Brian Rebellon.
Poked on there by Smith, left by Barry. Decent build up here for Swope Park, as you see the shape from Rio Grande Valley. 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3. Generally look for them as well. It's a good ball between the lines. Blackwood trying to poke on towards Barry. Ontiveros going shoulder to shoulder to shield the ball. Kept in play there by Barry. Megs the defender Ontiveros, but cleared away in the end. Now counter-attacking opportunities on Quintanilla. Left it for Aguilar, who tried to send him on his way, but always difficult to bend that run around multiple defenders.
Once again, we're seeing Swope with this possession, slowly from the back, building up, getting to a certain point, and then seemingly not getting further. They will get further this time because they have a free kick.
Carlton Belmar going down, and that's certainly, if you're sort of looking at the stat sheet going into a game saying you have the league's top scorer, what would be the point of the build-up? And it would be to try and give the ball to that man.
It certainly would be, but we saw what he did even from a wide position in the first half. One chance and he smashed it at goals and hit the crossbar. But yeah, I would tend to want Belmar to be more central alongside Haji Barry, almost two up front together, because both of them are big, strong. They're both dangerous strikers.
Decent ball slid in there by Didic. Going down there was Rebellon, and now leaves a space in at right back that Enriquez tried to take advantage of, but sliding in well was Saravia. Saravia, who was on loan in the Swedish league a year ago, comes from the Columbus Crusader, made 12 appearances in Major League Soccer as a rookie. As the whistle does eventually go there, Aguilar and Enriquez doing well to win a fair amount of free kicks tonight for Rio Grande Valley. Padilla. Challenge coming in from Aguilar to tug at the shirt of Parker Marr, but a free kick for Swope Park. Both these teams in their third year of existence. Swope Park winning the Western Conference the last 2 years, going all the way to the final. Rio Grande Valley themselves in their third year, in their first year, were terrifically successful, as it's given away there. Now an opportunity on for Swope Park. It's sent all the way through towards Blackwood, arriving Blackwood! And Corti getting just enough of the ball to put off Tyler Blackwood, and it came off the Englishman in the end as well. So on top of the decent save, it's a goal kick for Rio Grande Valley.
Yeah, Corti read it well, came out nice and brave. Not easy for goalkeepers. You know you're likely to get a boot in the face and the ball to hit you, and he spreads himself well, makes the save, and the ball goes for the goal kick. Well done, the keeper.
Connor Donovan was also scrambling back in case it got past Corti to try and play it off the line. Was certainly a dangerous ball and well played in as well given all the sort of deliberate passing we've seen, that was a really quality ball to find the run of Blackwood. Swope Park maybe just finding their footing here out of the interval. And that's certainly the danger for Rio Grande Valley, giving away some chances in that first half to take the lead. Remember Didic, Rio Grande Valley in their first season in the league, finishing second in the Western Conference, but going out in the first round of the playoffs, but experiencing a bit of struggles as they are this year, finishing 11th in the West. Certainly the competition rising, but it's not to say that the sides affiliated with MLS clubs can't have success. Certainly in the case of Swope Park, finishing 4th in the Western Conference in each of their 2 seasons and reaching the Cup final. So certainly well within their chances to progress and give it a real go. As a free kick in the center of the park for Rio Grande Valley. As you see, perhaps a bit of treatment required as Perea is down. And the Colombian is going to take a bit of time to getting back up, and he eventually will. A little bit of limp afterwards as well. And we'll play on. There is Warden, who failed to convert the penalty in the first half. Decent flick on there from Quintanilla, and Enriquez is actually going to head it into the path of the Mexican, but the flag and whistle already went for offside.
It must have been a close thing because he played the ball and then made his run. So he's saying, how could I be offside? It's been given, but they look nice and sharp up front, don't they? And just looking at Quintanilla, such a good player. Such a lovely run first off. I still feel sorry for him that he beat 6 players in his own man. Was it Aguilar?
Yes,
Took
it
the
was.
ball off him. If I get my hands around Aguilar at the half-time in the locker room, I'd have throttled him.
Yeah, particularly for a striker. If you're someone whose whole job is goals,
Yeah.
you make that dazzling run.
6 beating 6 players?
If we're going to miss, I'm going to be the one that misses.
Exactly.
As the whistle had gone actually for that aerial challenge. Should be a free kick for Swope Park. Some of the orange shirts will retreat. Just wonder if the condition of the soccer balls this evening perhaps a bit underinflated. We've seen multiple tests there of their metal, but this one appears to be fit to carry on. Interesting for me, on a set piece from this area, you see their commitment to playing out. They're not getting the center backs in the box or putting numbers in and sending a ball in. No, they're probably going to continue to play, or Juan Kamal is going to strike from 45 yards out, which he does, and it forces Corti into a save. Certainly thought it was unlikely that he would shoot from that kind of distance, but he does, and Corti equal to it.
Yeah, it's a decent strike. It moves a lot in the air. It forces the keeper to have to push the ball away. I think it was going wide of the goal. If we have a look, the keeper might have been able to leave it, but he doesn't want to take the risk. And here's the corner.
And it will come in from Chase Minter. Lofted in towards that back post. Corti couldn't quite catch, gets a hand to it, and it'll come out for the Swope Park throw, eventually colliding with his defender Donovan.
That's decent of the keeper. You come along, you make sure that nobody can win the ball in a danger area. You tip it away for a throw-in, so it's a less dangerous position than it was before. The keeper's done well. In fact, both goalkeepers have done well, especially when you consider Eric Dick with an incredible penalty save first half. They've both done their part in keeping it a clean sheet so far.
Rebellon still on. And Barry trying to win it off him, and the assistant's flag went up for a free kick. I think Rebellon thought it was his free kick because he played it quickly. As you get another look here at the work there from Corti.
Yep, good stretch, good tip on, get it away from trouble.
And it'll be a free kick here for Rio Grande Valley, who certainly to this point in the season have done decently in increasing their goal scoring tally from a year ago. A woeful 37 from 32 matches. This year 12 from 9. But on evidence tonight, that number can be higher given the chances that they create.
They've got some lovely skill going forward, RGV. Some wonderful players. Enriquez was really sharp first 20 minutes. Quintana's got some great skills. Aguilar, Zaldivar, they're all wonderful. It's the final ball, the final shot. Whereas if you look at Swope, they don't seem to have anywhere near the same number of chances, but when they get them, Carlton Belmar's fantastic, really sharp, so is Haji Barry. So it's two different styles of attacking, and it'd be wonderful for RGV if they could turn some of these good skills into goals that are much, much needed.
As Wharton is going to try and send it on Zaldivad on his way. 50-50 eventually won by the sliding challenge of Parker Marr. Decent ball through there by Wharton, and it'll eventually result in a throw-in. See there, though, the dangers in trying to play out as simple giveaway, and RGV was on their way as the ball did not go out of play. Swung in by Pereira. On the back post there is Enriquez, but couldn't quite get a touch on it. Work for Rebellon to do. He clears his lines. But only as far as Omar Ontiveros in his second season with Rio Grande Valley. Didn't play very much a year ago. Signed after being identified in an open tryout. As now Enriquez again to threaten. Lofted in. Minter trying to get something on it to send it further away. Padilla arriving. The right back is actually going to send in a cross. You see there, it kind of got caught in the wind and allowed Eric to get underneath it. Poor there out of the back there by Graham Smith to give away a throw into Rio Grande Valley.
A little bit scrappy at the moment. Both teams not really able to get their passes flowing and create their opportunities on the edge of the box.
Padilla. Just gonna try and send it long. There really was nobody there as Quintanilla's more on the far side of the pitch. See Eric Dick maybe not sorting his feet out the best. 13th pick in MLS Super Draft. Was Big East Keeper of the Year with Butler University. As Quintanilla now allows it to run. Gonna beat Didic for pace. Here's Quintanilla, gonna try and leave it for Enriquez into the air. Enriquez! And sliding out there was Eric Dick very well to save.
A lovely save from the goalkeeper. Brave save, closes that space down. Enriquez was coming in there, and a decent save once again from Eric Dick. Let's have a look at it again. Comes in there, it closes that space down, doesn't allow Enriquez to chip him. It's a really good save. Have a look at it here. There we go. Before the striker can do anything, the goalkeeper's on top of him.
And again, it's the interplay there between the Mexicans, Enriquez and Quintanilla, that is producing the results at the moment for RGV. Didn't quite come off in that pattern of play, and now Swope Park Rangers can play out. Here's Graham Smith for SPR. Parker Marr and Smith and Didic. And again, the center backs maybe perhaps getting a bit impatient, playing the ball between themselves and trying to get the play started and giving away possession.
I guess at this stage, as you're coming to nearly the 60th minute, 2/3 in, RGV, the home side, they have now got to start taking the game more and more to Swope Park. And Swope Park might be happy with that to try and counterattack. There we go. This is the idea. Take it to them, probe, push, and see if you can create opportunities.
I think Padilla on his way, trying the turn there around the defender. Belmar going to try and keep it in play, but unable to do so. See the talismanic goal scorer doing the defensive work, and now he's going to bust his lungs to go on his way. Decent ball to feed him there by Minter. Here's Belmar now, going to run at Donovan. Asking for the help from Padilla, gets around him, does Belmar. Going to poke it towards Barry in the area. Barry trying to find a window on the turn. Now Blackwood going to clip it in high towards Minter, and dealt with by Ontiveros and eventually Adams. It looked dangerous, but Barry unable to find that shooting opportunity. And Quintanilla probably just harassing Didic a bit too much and giving away the free kick. Not a bad chance.
Yeah, it had the possibilities, didn't it, of something, and then it sort of petered out from Swope Park. Edge of the box, it needed that killer pass. It needed something positive, something to build on, and in the end it was a poor ball back into the box, and the chance went to waste.
more like it from Graham Smith to feed in the run of Parker Marr, who just fluffs his cross. It was a perfect opportunity there on the byline, and that's not the kind of service he would be hoping for.
No, that's one of those you hope that nobody ever mentions again. You hope they lose the footage of that one, because that was just one of those embarrassing ones. It happens to us all. Everyone, every person, every player miskicks it, but when it does happen, you tend to want to move on and hopefully get another chance to put things right.
And you'd also hope it wouldn't happen ahead of an opportunity that looked as promising as that one.
Yeah.
Skorti just sending it long, taken out of the air by Juan Kamal. And the Malaysian Juan Kuzain, Juan Kamal flicking it on. Zaldivad leaving it for Wharton. This kind of the distribution fulcrum for RGV. Decent ball poked through towards Zaldivad, coming in off that right-hand side. Now Quintanilla can run at the defenders. As run of Enriquez available, or at least to take defenders away from him. Quintanilla poking it off the defender. Rebellon out for the throw.
Yes, nice skillful play again by RGV. Lovely touches, lovely ability. Again, we asked that same question. Can you turn this wonderful play around the box of Swope Park? Can you turn it into a good opportunity to score?
Adams in towards Quintanilla, cut out by Rebellon. Coming together there, and eventually the whistle does go. I thought maybe that was going to be a play on, and the free kick taken quickly. You see there.
Yeah, ball was moving, so retake it.
We've seen that a few times tonight with goal kicks as well. Marr and Bilmar. Now Barry going down under the weight of the challenge from Donovan. You see there the wagging of the finger. And you see frustration again from Swope Park. They just want to get the ball back in play. The referee making them play out from the spot where the foul had been committed. Didic trying to switch the play, and in the end, just the pressure there from Zaldivan forced a bit of discomfort there from Marr, and a throw-in. So I've received word from the ground. We'll have a change come up here, but first, nearly given away there by Aguilar. Still in here for Pereira. Here is Enriquez on the far side as the overlapping run of Adams available. Eventually away there by Saravia, but only as far as Aguilar, poking through towards Quintanilla. Can he find the right opportunity? Clip back in towards Quintanilla. Here's Quintanilla! And a decent save from Eric Dick. Still on for Quintanilla! He takes a swing at it, but doesn't quite catch it.
Yes, he's annoyed with himself as well. It was a good chance, and the keeper does really well. Have a look at it again. He plays it, he gets it back, shields it, turns. Eric Dick makes a good save. And he just can't quite reach it, Quintanilla. I think he was held back by the defender there. Have a look. Great turn, shields it, gets the shot in, and just there, I think he trips over the defender. Just stops him getting to the rebound.
As we'll now have a change. We mentioned him earlier. Gianluca Busio will come on for his 6th appearance of the campaign. Just 15 years of age coming on for Chase Minter.
That's wonderful to see. 15 years of age. That is brilliant. I love it when clubs can do that, and I love it when kids have that level of ability and confidence to come out and play. It's such a young player, and who knows, maybe with a great future ahead.
Headed on there by Donovan. As we have seen a goal in Oklahoma City. That hasn't happened for a while. 601 minutes they go without scoring. They finally are 1-0 up and win 1-0 over Colorado Springs Switchbacks. Callum Ross getting the goal, and they snap an 8-game losing streak.
That? 10 hours of football, over 10 hours of football.
It's a long time to go without a goal. Woo. For a striker, much less a whole team.
Yeah.
As Busio, the second youngest player to ever sign an MLS contract at 15 years of age, turned 16 in 9 days. It won't be 15 very long. Next thing you know, I feel like he's old. There is Busio applying the pressure.
Yeah, wonderful. I can't say it enough when I see the kids of that age, given the chance, given the opportunity, managers having the belief that they can go on to forge a great career. Wonderful. By the way, that's a foul throw. You can't lift your leg up. The referee's just showing him. Come on, guys, at this level of football, don't give away foul throws. That's ridiculous.
As-
I've got a U6 team that doesn't give away foul throws.
As Adams going to spray it out wide. Now, but the under a bit of pressure. See Swope Park dialing up the pressure a bit more. Zaltivada trying to knot it down for Wharton, but cut out. And now Marr just going to leave it with Smith. The other thing, too, with the USL sides affiliated with MLS clubs, allows academy products to come through, play second division football. Busio coming through the Sporting Kansas City setup as well as a youth international. All positive things, made his pro debut against Colorado Springs on April the 5th, and now a regular run on the side.
Yeah, it's important because sometimes players, they grow very quickly when they're playing against better players and older players. And if that kid has the talent, Busio, you want him to be pushed, you want him to be challenged, you want him to learn the skills. Who knows, maybe by 17, as you say, he's racking up sort of 60, 70 games, and suddenly he goes to an MLS team, and next thing he's in Europe, and that's how some young players respond to being put under pressure. They, as the old classic saying, you know, diamonds come from pressure. Some kids actually thrive under this sort of pressure.
And now he's going to swing in the corner. It's lofted towards that back post, but over everyone, and the whistle had gone in the area for Belmar pushing off on Wharton. It'll be a free kick for Rio Grande Valley.
Yeah, and his fellow players will say to him that you put too much power in that, you didn't put the cross in the right way, and so his learning begins at this level.
Maybe a bit too much adrenaline coming off the bench, trying to make an impact from the opening minute, and puts a bit too much power behind it.
Yeah.
Cut out well by Rebellon. But Gary, you and I have talked about this in other contexts, but that for you is among the more important parts of American development. As the ball is sent along towards Quintanilla. He's actually going to take it down, tries to flick on for Zaltivad, but not quite the right ball. And that is players coming in as teenagers and going through a professional environment from a very young age. That for you is kind of the next step in American player development, is that has to happen the way that it happens in Europe.
Yeah, 100% correct, Chris. So, you know, you cannot develop, in my opinion, players by playing a couple of hours a week, U16 level, and aiming to go to college. That's fine if you want to do that, but you're not going to become a great player. Great players are what happens with this kid here. You're in a professional setup. You commit to being a soccer player for life. You're not worried about college. You can do college separately, but your main aim is to be a professional footballer. You get pushed in early, and you're playing sort of 3, 4, 5 hours a day, which is what they play in South America and Africa and places like that. If you think playing 1 or 2 hours of soccer every second night is going to make you a great player, I've got bad news for you. In my opinion, you've got no chance.
As Nico Corti will line up here, the goal kick for Rio Grande Valley, as we continue to bring you scores from around the grounds. Tampa Bay Rowdies in their first match under Neil Collins, the new manager, coming as a player manager into this side. A 2-2 draw with Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Collins a center back for the squad, and then going straight into management. We've seen that in other contexts around the world. Usually there is kind of a go-between being maybe a youth team manager or a reserve team manager, but Tampa Bay just taking a player, plucking him and putting him in the job, and not on an interim basis, on a full-time basis.
Yeah, well, good luck to Neil. It's not easy to do. Is he still playing? Has he actually picked himself as centre half?
I don't believe so, but
that's more difficult.
I will check just to be sure.
Because if you're still playing and you're managing, that's super difficult. But to go straight from player to manager, I think is too big an ask. But he might pull it off.
He is not playing.
He was
not named in the 18. He was not named as either of the center backs. So
I mean, normally you'd want to leave a club, go somewhere else, be an assistant, learn your trade, then go and be a manager at a lower level, and then eventually go back to that club years later. Here's this moment. Was there a clash of heads? Normally that's when it gets stopped straight away. And referee does call, yeah, there's a clash of heads there somewhere. So yeah, you normally go away and learn and come back as an accomplished manager. But there are examples, and Pep Guardiola being one, of where someone's gone from being a player to a manager. It helps to have Messi in your team if you want to be successful, just saying. But it can work, and I hope for Neil's sake it does. It's a big challenge, but I wish him all the best.
As will be a drop ball here after the aerial challenge. You see the captains just sorting things out. Wharton and Saravia. Saravia, the Guatemalan. Starter of 6 matches, appeared though in every Swope Park match this season, as it does seem like a change is being prepared. I believe that is Zach Wright, who's over there on the near touchline, as play will get started straight away. And I believe Rio Grande Valley thought something more sporting was going to happen than a player just kicking on straight away. Here's Belmar now. Certainly carries that threat towards the byline. Bamboozling by the peel back towards Barry. Tried to score on the back heel, and it nearly came off for him.
Wonderful run by Belmar there. Great pace, great acceleration and skills. You can see why he's a top goal scorer in the league. And Barry with a very clever back heel from a difficult angle. It's a wonderful connection. Have a look at it again. Look at this sudden turn of pace. Absolutely brilliant. Could he have taken it further before crossing? Well, he's looking for Barry, who with his back to the goal gets an effort in. So the two of them, you can see why they're such a powerful combination, especially that there, the cross coming in. Absolutely brilliant.
You saw Corti frustrated after that, as it will be Jordan Jones actually who will get set to come on. And it will be the number 22 Jordan Jones, a second-round pick in MLS Super Draft, or rather third-round pick to LAFC, but has actually come in and made a decent impact into this Rio Grande Valley side. He'll come on for Aguilar when the change is ready. Here's Gianluca Busio. 15-year-old losing out to Saravia. And Blackwood unable to find the right ball in. As finally the whistle will go for the change to be confirmed. There is Aguilar coming off and Jordan Jones coming on. Made a decent impact as a sub in his last few matches. This his 6th substitute appearance in 10 Rio Grande Valley FC matches. Aguilar making way. Certainly his highlight or low light of the match will be taking the shot off of Quintanilla when he was in on goal. I imagine that'll come up in the film study.
You know why he's been substituted? His manager's getting him off before the end of the game, because Quintanilla will be after him then. If they draw 0-0, he'll be out to throttle him.
As it's played over the top there by Saravia. Trying to take it down is Blackwood, and Adams, you see there, frustrated with himself. It came off him for the corner.
Right, set piece for Swope. Let's see if they can do something with it. The youngster going to take it. Maybe he won't overhit it this time. He will have learned. And set piece is always an opportunity to get a goal.
Here is the service from Busio, trying to find the run of Blackwood. Still on though for Saravia. Now Busio to have another cross in. This one better in towards the center back. Didic, who was coming in, but Corti getting in ahead of him and catching.
Corti does well there, as he should. Big goalkeeper. You can't really challenge the keeper. It's a nice ball in, probably a little bit too close to the keeper. He wants it about 7-8 yards out, but still a decently floated ball in from the youngster.
Enriquez trying to win it off of Rebellon. Busio getting the header on it. Here's Mar. Nice turn there to work around Zaldivar. Doing well there was Perea just to get a deflection on it. Going all the way back, and now Rio Grande Valley can build out here with a quarter of an hour left to play. You'd have to say in the second half, not too many clear-cut opportunities. And Rio Grande Valley will still be ruining, missing that penalty. See here the lovely bit of skill there from Mar around Zaldivar.
Nice skill, but it is up to RGV now. They're at home, 15 minutes to go. They're going to be positive. Maybe even take a risk. You know what? You get 1 point for a draw, 3 for a win. It's worth it if you're the home side, taking a few risks and trying to get that all-important goal.
As Jordan Jones going to try and create that bit of magic. Peeled through the area, came in at plenty of pace. Still my fault for Enriquez, who's going to clip it back towards the run of Jordan Jones, who couldn't keep it in play.
Yeah, frustrating again for RGV. Nice touches up until they get near the box, and then that final good ball through just doesn't seem to be happening for them. They've got to keep pushing, got to keep going. The onus on the home team to be more positive at this stage of the game. And we're looking at the goalkeeper, who has kept it a clean sheet, because that penalty for RGV could have made all the difference first half. But a wonderful save from Eric Dick,
who dove to his right, got the left hand up to stop the penalty taken by Todd Wharton, who had converted his first 2 of this campaign. Missing for the first time as Barry will flick it out to Rebellon. He's going to try and head on, cut out there by Adams. So I have received word there will be another change here for Swope Park, as Felipe Hernandez is getting prepared to come on. Now Jones Going to leave it here for Matias Zaldivar, the Argentinian, playing it back for the captain Wharton, who missed the penalty. A nip at the heel there from the captain Saravia, who we are being told is the player who will make way for the change. But Wharton will try and quickly put it back in play. It's a decent ball to find Aldo Quintanilla. They just saw Enriquez over there on that far side. Might have played it to him quicker. Perea and Wharton. Challenge is coming in, but calmly played for the Colombian. Zaldivar on the turn. This is good build up here from Rio Grande Valley. Quintanilla trying from a long way out, cut up by Bucio. Zaldivar trying to win it off of Saravia. Play on, says the referee, and now Belmar. He always carries a threat, a heavy touch to try and allow him to flash off his pace. And in the end, it's played all the way back to Corti. Wharton going to try and send Zaldivar on his way. Eric Dick out of his penalty area and forced to just boot it away for the throw.
That's good play by the goalkeeper. He's acting like a sweeper and making sure that no easy through ball gets past the back four.
And there is the confirmation of the change. Felipe Hernandez will come on. The 19-year-old from Nashville will come on for the captain Saravia. Hernandez, 2 goals and 27 appearances for Swope Park a year ago. Another player coming through the Sporting Kansas City Academy.
He's a positive veteran compared to the 15-year-old Bucio, isn't he?
Seasoned vet.
Yeah, we love to see it. Love to see these young players under 20 coming through the system. It's what it's all about. And the more the merrier, I say.
Oldest player on the pitch at the moment, with a pair of 25-year-olds coming off, is still the 26-year-old Blackwood. Yeah. On the far right wing.
Over the hill.
Yeah.
Reaching retirement age.
Yes, indeed. Plenty of players between age 19 and 22, particularly for Rio Grande Valley. That's kind of the sweet spot for them. It would certainly be encouraged by the development of Enriquez, who's had a really bright performance and a bright season so far, if only the goal and the assist for the Mexican. This will be a goal kick here with a little more than 11 minutes to play. Haji Berry, yeah, to really get involved tonight, does have a goal or an assist in each of his last 3 games. Just hasn't had too much of the ball this evening. Neither has Belmar, as it's flicked on there by Jones, trying to send Zaldivar on his way. Eventually booted clear by Eric Dick. Wharton. Perea with appeals for handball, not given. Able to turn away from the pressure. Here's the oncoming Felipe Hernandez, who flashes the pace, and eventually a foul given there against Enriquez for sticking the arm out.
Yeah, they don't use these free kicks, do they, Swope Park? They just take it short. There's no long balls. There's no looking to put RGV's back four under any pressure. They just rather play the ball out from the back. So, yeah, you have to give them for credit for wanting to play football, but could they not vary it up a little bit? Maybe the occasional long free kick. They've got 2 big boys up front to aim for.
You can imagine Didic and Graham Smith will end up near the top of the pass completion table, but really has been a lot of passing between them rather than trying to find avenues forward, as it's cut out there by Adams, but only as far as one Kamal. As it is Didic who takes the captain's armband from the outgoing Sarave. Here's Gianluca Bucio. And just electing to play back. Calm building out of possession here. Rio Grande Valley sorting out their lines. They're appearing to be more of a 4-4-2 kind of look, with Jones joining Quintanilla up top. Wharton trying to play it off of a substitute, or rather that was Blackwood. And now Enriquez with an opportunity. Trying to work around multiple defenders, eventually one Kamal. Shielding him, and played out there by Didic. Here is Blackwood. As Barry to his right, as Belmar in the area, and again the touch just way too heavy on the way through. And out for the goal kick.
Yeah, trying to take on too many players, perhaps. Very ambitious. I just wonder if you can't lay it off, play a 1-2 and get it back again. But I'd rather see that from Swope Park than just playing around the back the whole time. They've got to be a little bit more positive. I know they're the visitors, but you know, try and play your way into the box. That's the hardest part of football, is creating chances. So if they're going to improve, they've got to do more of that for me.
Here is Gorty, the native of Brussels, Belgium, playing his college soccer at Stanford. And his goal kick is not quite what he was looking for.
No.
And there is the next change for Rio Grande Valley. Another throw of the dice from Gerson Echeverry. Coming off there is Zaldivat. And it is Montaño, the Colombian, John Montaño, who will step out onto the pitch, the 20-year-old Colombian. Joins from the América de Cali setup. América de Cali, I should say. He was in their youth setup, now playing straight here in the United States, making his 4th appearance of the campaign. Starting twice. Will slot in more as a winger, and he will come in here on that right-hand side. Here's Gianluca Busio trying to flick on there for the run of Hernandez, but doing well to cut it out there was RGV. And now Montaño going to try and send it long towards Jordan Jones, and he was hoping that was going to bounce to him, because if Jones got ahead of the ball, he might have been in.
That's good judgment by Eric Dick in goals there. That was a touch and go, a risky one, but he measured it well and gathered the ball safely.
You saw there the skill, though, from Busio in trying to get
the
that
idea
flick
anyway.
to come off. Yeah.
It didn't quite come off, but the idea is there, and the confidence to try it out. Can you imagine doing that at 15 years of age?
I cannot.
Can't do it now.
Well, of course not. As Belmar will leave it for Busio, will charge on his way. Gonna leave it for Hernandez. And now Rebellon with some options in the area, gonna run it. Enriquez still towards the byline. Rebellon took a deflection off Enriquez on the way through. Ben Perea more than keen to give away the throw. Hernandez, the Nashville native. Of course, an expansion side in Nashville this year, though it won't be in USL for too long, on their way to Major League Soccer. As Didic will send long towards the run of Mark. Can he keep it in play? He just about does so. We'll try and make amends for his poor service earlier. Here's Parker Marr, going to try and work it around Padilla, but standing his ground well and cutting it out. Belmar might just play it off of Montaño, and he does, out for the Swope Park throw. Busio. Going to try and work around again. Padilla doing solid work on that right side, and eventually will be a throw for RGV.
Well, 6 minutes plus injury time left. I guess if you want to write the script for this and you are a Swope Park fan, you're thinking, Busio to get the winner.
Wouldn't mind that. Although the more likely scenario is always Carlton Belmar. Scorer of 8 goals on the campaign, and always carries with him that threat. We saw it earlier. Just kind of a shot from nothing that hit the frame of the goal.
Great strike from a very difficult angle, and Quintanilla being the one who's most likely to, I guess, to score for RGV.
That's given away there by Jones. Nice touch there from Barry to send himself on his way, and now Busio might have just done better to flick on towards Belmar, but does maintain possession. Juan Kamal and Hernandez. See there the temperature still fairly high. The wind perhaps mitigating things a bit. The humidity has certainly climbed up. It is a balmy evening in southern Texas, as we certainly come to expect. Here's Marr playing out to the right towards Blackwood. Can he pick out the right service? It was towards Marr. It's awkward there from Donovan. It was towards his own goal. Had no idea where that was going. He's lucky to watch it go over the bar.
He's very lucky. You never know where those go. You're very grateful when it does clear the crossbar. Look at the ball coming in. Good sort of ball to play into that danger area. Maybe needed 1 or 2 more blue shirts getting in there hunting for that winning goal.
And now a corner for Hernandez. He will whip it in. It's easy work, though, for Quintanilla on that near post. And now Wharton going to try and flick on to send the counterattack on its way. Here is Quintanilla. The corner taker, Hernandez, tugging at him. And in the end, it will produce a rare booking in this match. And it is Felipe Hernandez who will go into Rosendo Mendoza's book. Not a ton in it, but certainly knew what he was doing in trying to slow down the counterattack.
Another substitution coming on.
And it is Camilo Benitez, the Ecuadorian, 18 years of age, who will come on now. So the oldest of the three substitutes was Hernandez at 19. So certainly turn into youth to try and change the math, and it's Haji Berry who will make way. A ton from him in this performance. And the Rochester native, formerly in the Orlando City setup, will watch the final 3 minutes plus added time.
He's looked sharp, Haji Berry. Just hasn't got much service, hasn't got much opportunity.
It's knotted down there by Smith, and there is the substitute Benitez. And again, the Ecuadorian, leaving it for Hernandez, or rather Juan Kamal, and he tries to send it long towards the run of Blackwood, who kind of takes a more central position, and it will be easy work for Corti.
Just get the sense that, you know, if you're RGV, you should be pushing more, you should be looking for a win. It's almost as if the coaches are saying, we play defensive, a bit like Jose Mourinho, we play defensive, we don't want to lose. If we go away 0-0, it's a decent result. I'm thinking, well, maybe not, especially if you're RGV. You need the 3 points. You're the home side. Attack a little bit more. Take a few risks. Get a bit animated about it. But it seems like both teams are almost quite comfortable with a 0-0 draw.
And also would be a 5th draw in 6 home matches as well for Rio Grande Valley, as the ball is sent up towards Jordan Jones. And I think Eric Dick was hoping that would eventually make its way to the penalty area, but he just forced to boot it clear.
Let's see if it's a long, dangerous ball. At least that's what they can do now, RGV, is go for the long ball, try and get it into that Swope Park, you know, 18-yard box. You know, there comes a time when you can't play your way into the dangerous area, and you just knock the ball long and at least try and create some opportunities.
And there is the final throw of the dice there from Jerson Echeverry. It'll be Zach Wright who will come on here for the final few minutes. And it is Jesus Enriquez who will make his way off.
Yeah, he was fantastic first 20 minutes, Enriquez. Wonderful opportunities, great skill, good pace, but he seems to have not been anywhere near that level in the second half. Then if he got a bit tired, ran out of legs, but certainly early on he looked super player.
And Wright will slot into that left-hand side and has to make a 60-yard sprint just to get into his position. Free kick taken quickly. Cross is swung in, it's dangerous. Flapping at it was Corti, and he didn't get anything on it. And eventually on that near side, it was Benitez who might have put a bit too much in there towards Padilla, but that was awkward there for Nico Corti.
Strange this from the goalkeeper. Let's have a look at it again. Didn't even get to the ball. Maybe it's a good thing he didn't. He could have pushed it into the striker's path, but not the most convincing of goalkeepers, of goalkeeping rather. And he's a man who's had a good half, made some good saves. So maybe one just to forget.
He just takes it long. Mar taking down, and now here's Busio with a bit of space, can charge on, doing well to cut it back. Going to send it into the path of Belmar, who's now on that right-hand side. Here's Belmar to strike. Came off of Adams on the way through. It'll be a throw-in. So that front three now looks like Benitez, Blackwood, and now Belmar changing flanks. Here he is again. The league's top goal scorer on the byline, trying to send it across. Came off of Adams on the way through. We've been told we'll have a minimum of 4 minutes to be added on. And Belmar would just leave it for Gianluca Busio to swing in the corner. Can they carve out one last opportunity for a smash and grab set of 3 points? As the whistle goes before the corner, as I believe.
Just talking to the players about pushing and shoving and holding and all the dark arts that take place at every single set piece everywhere in the world.
As Busio will swing it in this time. Wharton down in the area. Play on, says the referee. And now counter-attacking opportunity on. Can the fresh legs of Montaño send him on his way? He does cut it back on halfway. Jones will continue to play on. Multiple challenges flying in, and eventually Graham Smith with a heavy one, earning the free kick for Rio Grande Valley, and the referee just going to make sure that everything is good to go before allowing the ball to be put back in play. See multiple challenge coming in there from Smith.
Yeah. It's one thing with the counter-attack for me is you've got to play as few passes as possible. You want to do it quickly. 1, 2, 3 passes and you're in. That got slowed down, and once RGV slowed it down, it gave Swope time to get back, get in their faces, stop them. Counter's got to be as quick as you can possibly do it. Long balls to quick strikers. So didn't quite work out for RGV that time. There's still time, Chris. There's still time. Come on, we've got to believe there's a goal coming.
And Rio Grande Valley will have a free kick to perhaps put one in the area. See if any of the 4 or 5 orange shirts currently in the area can make something of this. Looks like it is the right back Padilla who will swing it in. Dealt with there by Didic. Still on though. There's Ontiveros, the center back, who made his way forward. Still an opportunity on here for Wright. Here's Wright off that left-hand side, and his right-footed strike was never what he was hoping for.
Yeah, Wright didn't get it right, did he? But at least he got in there. I had a chance. And it's been here, have a look at it again. So much is good of what RGV have done on the edge of the box, and the final product just hasn't quite worked out for them. But give him credit for the run, though.
Yeah, took a couple of bounces on the way through. Might still be a chance, though, for Rio Grande Valley as Busio can play on. Nice. It's a decent ball out wide for Carlton Belmar. Here is the danger man. Has multiple options. Will elect to try and clip it in towards Blackwood. Headed away. See the bunker there of orange shirts as Montano more than fine with just sending it on his way. Tugs there at the shirt. Play on there, says the referee. It's sent long. Gorty going to come racing off his line to make sure Blackwood couldn't get in ahead.
Well, the goalkeepers have had a good game, and if it ends up as a 0-0 draw, rather than say the strikers weren't up to it, I'd rather say the keepers made some vital saves. Eric Dick's penalty save being the biggest one of all, but Corti with a couple of good saves as well.
And needless there again from Rebellon. As now a free kick for Rio Grande Valley, and they're just going to leave it so that they can get the numbers in the attack and just stick one in the area.
Oh, so now they do it. Hang on a sec. Where are we? 30 seconds from the end of the game? This is what I needed 20 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. You know, yeah, I know it's direct football. I know everyone doesn't love it, but when you're chasing 3 points, have a go. Have a go for the last 10, 15. But anyway, let's see what they can get from this.
Here's the right back Padilla again. Decent service. Might fall for Montano, who takes a swing at it about 12 yards from goal, but couldn't quite get it under control.
Well, let's look at the replay on this. We said this is maybe going to produce some product, and it has done. A huddle half chance, just knocked over the crossbar there. Why not do this earlier? Why wait for the last 30 seconds? It's one of the best chances that RVG have had all match. There's another long ball, nearly ends up with something.
Yeah, and this will likely be the last of it, and it is indeed another 0-0 draw at home for Rio Grande Valley, a 5th draw in 6. It finishes Rio Grande Valley 0, Swope Park Rangers 0. Thoughts on this match, Gary Bailey?
Yeah, it was up to RGV to get the win. As you see in there, there's a 3rd consecutive 0-0 draw at home. They're the home side. They're the ones that needed the points more desperately, and they didn't do enough. Certainly first 20 minutes, that was positive. Lots of that. You know, it was nice football, and certainly
there by Zaldivar. Enriquez sending some more service in. It was fairly dangerous, Gary.
Yeah, they were very useful early on there. Enriquez in particular there. Yellow card, yeah. It's harsh perhaps, but you have to be careful. Once you put your cleats, your boot up in the air, you're asking for trouble. Now, what a run this was. This was about the 6th player he beats, and who takes it off his feet and misses Aguilar, who's now in hiding.
As Enriquez again would try from a long way out. That Quintanilla opportunity was certainly probably the best from open play of the match for Rio Grande Valley. You see the step overs in the matching again from Enriquez, and that was the penalty. Going down there was Enriquez. Wharton wouldn't convert. The save produced there from Eric Dick.
Yeah, fantastic save. It wasn't a bad penalty. It was a great save, and keeping his score sheet blank. Another good save there. This time a brave one.
It was Saravia playing the ball in. It was decent. Again, the corner with Corti producing the magic. This is another decent opportunity. Quintanilla and Enriquez would combine quite a bit in that match. Unable to clip it over the keeper. There you see again the opportunity. Quintanilla taking. It would still fall for him, but eventually into the side netting.
You can see it again in slow-mo. The ball comes there, and he just trips here, Quintanilla, and can't get to the ball. But goalkeepers making vital saves on both sides.
And here's Belmar at a decent chance in the first half. Would peel it back for Haji Berry, whose backheel attempt was not quite what he was looking for. You see the shots and the shots on target in favor of Rio Grande Valley of possession for Swope Park Rangers, but Swope Park Rangers not very dangerous going forward.
No, the possession was mostly in their own half, but they looked confident. They looked like they were in control of the situation to a certain degree. RGV with many more shots, better opportunities. The penalty was absolutely crucial for them. Again, the only criticism I would have is last 20 minutes, go for it. You know, throw the kitchen sink at Swope Park, because you need the points desperately. Swope Park could sit there, hold, you know, just take the pressure, counter-attack, which they did pretty well. So no criticism of them there, but they're in a comfortable position. They're in the playoff places. It was up to RGV to do it, and they just couldn't get it right on the night.
Unfortunately, the fireworks come after the match and not in front of goal this evening at HEB Park. It still was a FOMO. You see the upcoming fixtures for either of these sides. Swope Park Rangers next on Saturday, 4 p.m. Central Time, taking on Phoenix Rising, and then Rio Grande Valley back at it on Wednesday night, taking on LA Galaxy 2 at home. So again here at HEB Park with Open Cup action elsewhere, RGV and LA Galaxy 2 getting a league fixture in while they can. It was a decent game of football this evening with a couple of chances coming for either side. No doubt the big talking point would be a missed penalty from Todd Wharton, who couldn't convert from the spot after doing so on his first 2 opportunities of the campaign. That'll just about do it for us. From a broadcast partner, the former Manchester United goalkeeper Gary Bailey, and our terrific USL crew. My name is Chris Whittingham, signing off. Once again, your final score: Rio Grande Valley FC 0, Swope Park Rangers 0.
Copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.